Welcome to Soundcheck with Pastor Isaac. This is episode number 178. And today we're just going to hang out with one of my sons. This is my oldest son, Josh. And we're going to have a good time talking. He's been on the program before. And so I've been trying to get him back on the program. He's been willing, but I haven't had time to come down here and just have a good conversation with him. And so we're here today. And so, Josh, what would you like to talk about today?
There's so many different things. One thing, I had a scripture that's been just kind of like buzzing in my head.
Okay.
Hold on for a second.
Well, while he's doing that, while he's looking for it, I want you to hit that share button. Make sure that somebody else knows that we're on, and let them know Josh is on again. So we want to see him, and let somebody know that, man, this was a good program. If you've already watched it and you want to share it, please hit that share button. Please hit some comments in so it can also be encouraged at the same time.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I found it. James chapter 2, verse 14 through 17. Now, do you want me to just go give the brief?
Yeah, you can read it. Read the verse so we can see what the verse is.
All right, cool. So, starting with verse 14, it says, "What does it profit, my brethren, if someone says he has faith but does not have works? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister is naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you says to them, 'Depart in peace, be warmed and filled,' but you do not give them the things which are needed for the body, what does it profit? Thus, also faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead."
Okay, so what does that mean to you?
Well, the reason it's been buzzing through my head, not to, I guess, be too controversial, but there's been a lot of activity going on lately, and it's been a lot of people throwing God into things, saying you're not a real Christian if you don't believe certain things. You're not a follower of Christ if you don't have all these check marks to basically say, "Oh, okay, you believe what I believe. You're a Christian." And I'm hearing a lot of talk. I'm not seeing a lot of action. And faith without works, for me, when I was little, faith, like, works was always like, walking on water, moving a mountain. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was always like, okay, if Jesus could bring people from the dead, that was the works. But it's like when you get older, you realize the small things are just like, so when that faith the size of a mustard seed, like something as simple as being kind to your enemy. Like,
okay.
That's one thing that just getting older, you realize, like, man, like that's tough.
Right.
Like, it's like when you're a kid, you go, "Oh, okay, yeah, be nice to the person." But it's like when you've really been hurt and turn the other cheek.
Right.
I think we all struggle with that a little bit. I think we all have that issue. Or like you said, one of the examples that happened in my life one time, I remember I was working at Food Line at the time. Had this guy, he was panhandling outside the store. And he was like, "Man, I just ran out of gas. Oh man, can you spare some money? I just need $20 to get some gas." And at the time, Food Line, I'm making minimum wage. I literally had found $20 in my pocket that day. Like, it was like, "God, is this you?" Because I was hurt. I was strapped for cash. But I'm sitting there, faith without works, and I'm like, "Here you go, man. Like I needed that $20, but here you go. Oh, thank you, brother. Appreciate it." I felt good. I went in, got my groceries. I leave. This man's out here still, "Hey man, can you give me some money? I'm still hurting." And so I'm sitting there like, what you still doing here? and he looking at me like I got. And he wasn't even like sorry. He was just like, "Hey man, I don't know what to tell you." And in that moment, I was like, am I still blessed? I was like, well, you know what? If I didn't move in faith, if I didn't do that, it wasn't for him. Okay. It was for, like, what is it? When you do unto the least of them, you do to God. So I'm like, you know what? That wasn't even for you. That was for God. So that's what it means to me. Like, even if it's hard, even if it's difficult, doing that right thing, helping those people, even if in that moment you feel like this is hurting me, but it's like that's where the faith part comes in. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, I agree with that, and I applaud you for hearing God and using that sensibility to know, all right, I'm going to be giving out of myself, even though it hurts. I didn't want to give.
Right.
And when you saw the guy back on the outside and you felt like you got, I get that too. But sometimes we do, as Christians, we get put out for other people, and that's the whole thing about love. Love gives out of yourself for the benefit of others, and not necessarily that you're going to benefit from it. Sometimes you're hurting, like you wanted that $20.
I needed that 20.
Yeah, I got $20. You wanted to give it back to me.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
but the point is, God will bless you for what you've done, and those things I believe goes into those other books that he talks about in Revelation. He said, and there were other books, the books that have works in them that you get rewarded for doing the things that you feel like God is prompting you to do. So I believe that was God helping you to be tuned into what he wanted you to do. Maybe he will give you discernment next time to say, okay, this guy right here is not who it needs to go to, but this is the opportunity for you to grow and to start hearing God.
Yeah, it was a like I said, it was a learning experience for, I guess, like little naive me, but on the same, like I said, at that same point. What is that other scripture where basically, like if someone asks for your coat, give them your cloak. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like a lot of times people feel like we're all on guard nowadays. It's very difficult to have like neighbors now. How many of us talk to our neighbors? How many of us really have a relationship with them and like do for them? If they said, "Hey, can I borrow a cup of sugar?" Are we like, "Do you really need that sugar? You can't just go to the store and get it." I know that's, for me, it's very difficult, especially like with my job. It's like you kind of always are just on the defense. You're always kind of like thinking the worst. Like, okay, this person has the worst intentions, and it's like I think we have to unlearn that sometimes. Where it's like, yeah, you might be taken advantage of sometimes, but I think a lot more times than often, we don't know people's situation. People are hurting, and so I think I need to be more, I guess, sensitive to that. Be more like, you know what? Stop putting my mind into it. We don't know what God's moving. Maybe God did touch that guy. You know what I mean? Maybe he did move and be like, man, you know what?
For the compassion of you, just having empathy for him, maybe that did do something.
Absolutely, because like a lot of times, my testimony, just a lot of people will stop me and go, hey, like, you go to church, don't you? And I'm like, yeah. But it's like, it's my demeanor, it's how I carry myself, it's what I do. Because I do things that a normal person's like, no, man, get your own money. But when they see, okay, this dude gave something for nothing, I've had people stop me and be like, you go to church? And then that opens the door to being able to start witnessing to them, start talking to them. People, you've told me this when I was a kid, but you know, more's caught than taught. You know what I mean? And it's like, but people really do look and they see stuff. And I've had people come up behind me and go like, yeah, I see how you do that. I see how you move. So it's like a lot of times, like it was a tough lesson to learn, but at the same time, I think there was a benefit in it. It was a silver lining, basically.
Right. More is taught than caught. That's what he was just talking about. More is caught than is taught. Is that the right way? Grammy said that. Who was Lady O? That was his Grammy. Yeah. So Joshua was alluding to a lot of times when he's on his job in particular. A lot of times people will see him. I'm not going to really disclose what his job is unless he wants to do it.
But I'm a deputy sheriff.
Yeah, and a good one at that. A lot of times we've seen law enforcement as something that was in the negative. But when you have somebody that's like Joshua, I know his heart, I know his passion for people, and you can see the love that God has put in him, and he's an officer of the peace. That's what they're supposed to be. And they're supposed to be able to bring law and order to your neighborhood so you feel at peace and you feel like, oh, I can do this. My house is safe. My yard is safe. My people are safe. And so thank you for your service. I'm going to shake his hand on camera. I don't know if y'all can see the angles of that, but thank you for what you've done and what you're doing in the community.
I appreciate that. I think you need God to do this job. You have to. Like I said, the faith without works, you have to have that mentality of, like you said, you're there to serve. It goes hand in hand, like for our service for the Lord and everything. A lot of times people want the accolades. They want to walk around and have the uniform and look fancy, and they want to be a big shot. And it's like, that's not why we're doing it. Same with ministry. Same with God. Like a lot of times people, they want to be in the front at the pulpit, sitting there preaching and things. It's like, if you're not living it out, the faith without works. If you're not sitting there acting it out, it doesn't matter. You can talk a great game. You can sit there and preach the best sermon ever, but it's like if your life outside of it is not reflecting Christ, it means nothing.
It's void.
Same with like I said with my job, where it's like if you're on point, you're doing what you're supposed to do. People can tell when you're there to help versus You're there just to, all right, I'm just here to get a check. I'm just here
Right.
just to, this is what you're going to do. Like I said, most people don't know where I work, but it's like a lot of times I call it, it's like Mayberry, where it's like I'm the only deputy out sometimes. So it's like I'm the only one working. So you learn to talk to people. You learn to like empathize with them, work with them. And a lot of times people, it makes your life a lot easier when people know you're there to help them. Even I've had people thank me after I had to arrest them because like, hey man, I appreciate you treating me fairly, treat me like a person. And like I said, it all the things I've been taught, I guess, as a child have just it's helped me do my job more effectively.
That's huge right there because you're at your worst when you're having those cuffs on you and you put in the back of that car, and to have somebody to come back and say thank you, that's huge. I guess because they have a reflection of what law enforcement has been in the past, and now they see that you're here in the present to benefit them, not to destroy them, but to help them to get back on the right path.
Right. And I think part of it too is just like I said, I can empathize because I've been on the other side of it where you're sitting there, you're nervous, you're like, man, what's going on? So a lot of times me being able to put myself in their shoes to be able to go, okay, here's what I was thinking when I was in the situation. Let me kind of ease their mind with that stuff. You're scared of the unknown. You're scared of, okay, what's this guy's intentions? When you're able to sit there, I've been there. I know what's going on. Here, a lot of times,
You're talking about traffic stops, not necessarily getting locked up.
Oh, even that too. Well, no, yeah. No, I never been locked up. No, you're right. No, but like when you're sitting there, like, okay, I don't know, it's nervous. Being able to explain, hey, this is a situation. If you work with me, I'm gonna fight for you.
Right.
So like I said, I'll talk to the magistrate. So I'll put it like people. Well, people will stop me when I've seen them at Food Line. I've seen them at just random stores. They're like, "Hey, man, what's going on? I appreciate you talking and saying stuff." So it's like a lot of times being able to just say, "Hey, this is a situation," even if it's not the best scenario. Even if they, "Hey, man, you have to go sit down for a while." Them knowing, okay, hey, I appreciate you making it easier a little bit. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a blessing. I feel blessed that I'm able to take the stuff that I've learned as a child and as an adult be able to use that. And hopefully, I like to think I made an impact.
I'm sure you have. I want to ask you one more question. We're almost out of time. What would you consider about the comment of keeping your head on a swivel in the spiritual side and in the natural side because of the type of job that you have?
So one thing I realized is we're very self-centered. We're self-absorbed. We kind of like are only focused in on what's going on with us. So a lot of times when you're so like have that tunnel vision, you don't see anything in your peripheral. You don't see any kind of stuff going on. And a lot of times, like I say, in the physical, obviously, if you see there's shenanigans going on, you're not paying attention, you can wind up getting hurt. But in the spiritual aspect of it, a lot of times people are hurting. People are sitting there just struggling. And sometimes I notice, like I said, on the job, people they're reacting a certain way. And the reaction does not equal what's going on.
Okay.
So being able to have that discernment, or like you said, keep your head on a swivel to be like, okay, there's more to it than that. And I've been able to talk to people and witness, like I said, obviously I have to be mindful, like I said, I can't do too much, but it's like kind of know, okay, I'm not just dealing with we're not fighting against, just flesh and blood,
Right.
It could be demons, it could be, something spiritual. But I've been able to kind of like have that discernment to be like, okay, what's going on here? And it's helped me be able to help them better.
Right. Well, I appreciate you being honest about that. And so we're actually out of time. Josh, do you have time to come back again another time?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime.
Okay, well, we're going to bring him back again next week. So please let somebody know that Josh was on this week, and he'll be back again next week. So let somebody know that. Hit that share button. Hit some likes. Hit some comments. God bless you. We'll see you again next time.
Have a good one.